Life creates struggles for us all, but there is a place where people help overcome your challenges. Dreams and Visions is a group practice providing mental health services for adults, seniors, and children ages 4 and up. Our trained therapists use evidence-based approaches to create realistic, individualized treatment plans to reach your goals. We conveniently offer virtual care. Visit dreamsandvisionsatl.com and click Get Started on our website today.
Hello. I am Dr. LaShonda, and I am here today to talk about men's mental health. This month, the month of June, is Men's Mental Health Awareness Month. And so I wanted to take some time and talk to some men about mental health. And so, as you can see today, here we have Matt with us, and he's going to be sharing a little bit about mental health, and we'll be just diving into a conversation that hopefully will encourage you, man or woman. If you're a woman, maybe you can even share this with a man that you love. But we wanted to definitely just have this open conversation to possibly help someone reduce the stigma in their mind related to mental health, or just feel more comfortable getting support if you need it. I am the CEO of Dreams and Visions. I am also a therapist. So I see clients daily, and I absolutely love what I do. I am the doctor that helps people heal invisible wounds.
Mm.
And so today I'm bringing Matt in to help me, from a male's perspective, talk about how our men can heal their invisible wounds that affect their mental health. And so, Matt, if you could introduce yourself for us.
Sure. First of all, thank you for having me, Doc. It's a pleasure to be here, especially in the month of June, celebrating Men's Mental Health Month. Um, I am Matt Genius. I'm a licensed marriage and family therapist from the state of Florida. My family and I recently moved here almost 2 years ago. I still feel like I'm a newbie here. I'm still learning. I'm licensed in the state of Georgia as well as a family therapist. My private practice is called Beachstone Counseling, where I specialize in Black male issues and relational intimacy, right? And so I can get into those two later. I've been in the field probably 16 years now, almost 8 years in private practice, and it's been amazing. Just like you, I'm passionate about what I do. I love helping my community, and most of all, helping Black men, right? I want to see us win and win in every possible way. I want to see us thrive and thrive in every possible way. And I think we need to get back to a deserving understanding of who we are as Black men. We deserve wellness, right? We deserve to be healthy. We
Yes.
deserve to be happy. We deserve to have healthy relationships. We deserve to be good fathers. We deserve all of it. And so my job is to help us get back to that space mentally, emotionally, physically, spiritually, um, by having different interventions in our sessions.
I love it. Okay, and so you just kind of said what I was going to in my next question. How does that start? Because like let's get us back to wellness. Let's help our Black men get back to a place where
Mhm.
they are well, they are healed, and they don't even be apologetic for it. Like
Right,
I
right,
got what
right.
I need and I'm where I need to be. I am the foundation in my family. I am the head of this household. How can we help Black men get there?
Yeah, it's a journey that I think we have to get on collectively is what I'm hearing from you, and what I'd love to see. The reason why it's important to start the Black men on this journey and how we can help is by acknowledging that gap and where we are versus where we can be or where we would like to be, you know. And what I mean by that is to have a different outlook for the future, you know, because a lot of our historical data when it comes to Black men has been mainly negative, you know. And so when we look at what has happened behind us, even some of the things that are happening right now, it doesn't allow us to then have a healthy foresight for what's coming for our wellness, right? And so in a healthy mind, you can forecast healthy things, you know. In a healthy mind, you can have vision. You can have vision for yourself as a man. You can have vision for the relationship you desire with your partner. You can have vision for the next generation, right? And you can, and that then keeps on expanding to where it goes from individual collective community, and it keep on expanding. And so when we are well, man, the domino effect is tremendous. You know, I know we already know the statistics when it comes to Black male absence, but I'd love to then have a picture towards what wellness would look like for us, and then how the domino effect of wellness could then impact all of the
Yes.
things we're involved in, from our relationships to our communities.
Definitely. I love that. I love that. I love that. And in my own research, you're right. There are gaps there for the Black man. And that's why most of my research did focus in my PhD program, focused on Black men. I noticed, like, wait a second, the research isn't even here. I'm struggling to
Right.
find
Find data,
the
right?
statistics that I'm looking
Yeah.
for. And so, yes, we definitely have to make some changes there, and that is across the board. It's everyone can take a step in the direction to help our men heal. So regardless, male, female, different, we need people in different arenas,
Right.
just recognizing that, wait, there are some things, some unfair things happening, unfortunately, to our Black men.
Yeah.
And
Mhm.
how do we stop that?
Listen, it goes really deep, but I think this is a good thing. I'm an optimistic person when it comes to what is happening for us in the future, because of what I'm seeing and because of what I'm involved in. You know, each one reach one, right? And so if I
Yes.
can reach a couple of brothers every now and then, I think that's what, makes me more optimistic. And what happens is that we start to learn how to build ecosystems that are safe for us. You know, I'm not putting this charge necessarily on the Black women. You guys have done an amazing job creating safe spaces for us. I think we need to learn what that means for us, and then be in charge, be responsible for then taking charge of what a safe space look for me in my friendships, in my workspace, in my romantic relationship, everywhere I go, and then not compromise. I think we compromise a lot.
There
You know,
you go. That's good.
black men know, we know how to then, show up and say, yes, I got it, I'll take care of it. And I think that comes with checking in on ourselves to understand what our capacities are as well, right? Our capacities aren't limited in the sense to where we can't do certain things. I think what we have to learn is that we shouldn't do certain things because it exhausts us mentally, it exhausts
There
us
you go.
emotionally, it attacks us spiritually. And so some things we have to learn by, checking in and understanding what it is that we need to then feel safe enough to be our most authentic selves, right? And I think we're doing that. You see a lot more mental health conferences coming up,
Yes.
more emotional EQ stuff coming up for men. There's a lot more safe spaces, but I think when we take control, the difference will be greater.
Oh, I love that. And even I love that you said recognizing even what a safe space looks like. Because if you don't know as a Black man, it's like I'm not even sure how to get this to where I feel safe.
Right.
So even knowing what feels safe for you and then not compromising. Thank you. Thank you.
Yeah.
Thank you.
Even breaking that down just a little bit more, when we think about safe spaces, not just think about what's happening externally, right? And so I want people to know that, because if it's safe space, that means show up in a nice, clean environment. No, that also means inside of us,
Uh-huh.
we've created a safe space, meaning I know how to then decrease my heart rate, right? Because I'm anxious, or because I'm angry, or because I know how to then tap inside of my own physical, my own emotional, and then create that difference of safety, so that wherever I show up, I'm the safe space,
There
like
you
I
go.
don't have to now wait for people to cater to, and it's good, when you have a co-creating ecosystem where people understands, but I think we have to then take control of showing up authentically as us by, doing that work and learning. Man, every time I go this space, every time I visit this space, I feel a specific way, which may not be where I can be my most authentic self. Then I have to do that work. Whether it is going to see a therapist, whether it is doing some, spiritual work, whatever that is, learning and then managing those internal spaces to where you feel great. You understand your safety is depending on what's going on in here and in here. And then you learn how to really engineer that everywhere you are.
I love that. I love that. And we're gonna come back to that because I think that's really important. You're expressing how a man needs to create that first internally create those safe spaces. I want to come back to that. But right now I want to ask you, I want you to tell me what your experiences with mental health have been.
Yeah, so one story particularly that put me on this space where mental health became a space where I wanted to help Black men. It started with my own need for mental health services. You hear those things that I'm not only a therapist, well, I'm not only a client, I'm also the therapist or whatever. Like you, on both sides of
Oh,
it,
mm-hmm.
we need it as well. I was in my PhD program at Nova Southeastern University, and it's a story that I've shared several times over, but this gives context. And so I finished my master's. I started my PhD in family therapy right afterwards. I was at the end of my first semester, doing fairly well in my PhD program. And on my way to the library, I get a phone call from my brother who lives in Texas that told me a mutual friend of ours ended his life by suicide. Right. And so
Sorry to hear that.
it derailed me. This was 2011. It derailed me completely to where I eventually got out of my program. I didn't finish my program. I was out of the field of mental health, anything mental health for like 2 years, taking care of myself, going to therapy, dealing with, compounding issues of life, marriage, and then losing a close friend of mine. And so once I got back into the field, I wanted to uh, take charge of that narrative of what mental health, mental wellness was for Black men. I was in South Florida at the time, and so I did a lot of workshops, trainings, educational seminars, conferences to make sure that the Black community of South Florida, which is Dade, Broward, and Palm Beach, Miami-Dade, Broward County, and Palm Beach County, we would have workshops. We would do whatever we could and wherever we were called. I had a nonprofit called the Go-To Therapist that made themselves available to the community, right? And so my journey in mental health was I needed these services, I needed these services, and I knew how much I resisted going to get help, even after I lost a friend, and the other guys that are around me that, that were in this friendship, some of them probably still didn't get the help that they needed, and so it just gave me a charge to say, hey, we have to do more when it comes to Black male mental health, and so when I opened my private practice, I had launches specifically for the Black men. I had one for Black clergy members. I had one for Black athletes,
Okay.
right? I had one, and my office was only, I think, 615 square feet, so it was only so much I could fit in there, but it was packed to capacity each time I had, these launches to let the communities know that, hey, there's a space for Black men to come in and feel safe and talk about whatever it is they need to talk about, and to get the help that they need to get in order to really address their mental and emotional disparities. And so that's kind of my journey. I still struggle with some of the issues, but I think a part of why I moved and some of the issues is just anxiety. A lot of men have anxiety, and my anxiety is my friend, is what I say. I'm anxious primarily because I'm a father and I have kids, and that responsibility sometimes weigh heavy on you. During COVID, it was a lot to manage, and so a part of the reason why my family and I moved to Atlanta is to be outside more, to be out in nature. That's my therapy, and that's been my therapy for quite some time. And so my journey is still continuing in mental wellness. I have to take care of myself to show up for my kids, to show up for my wife, to show up for my clients, my most authentic self. And nature helps with that. So the journey never ends. And I'm still on this journey of making sure my mind is well, so then, I can keep on doing this wonderful work that I've been doing.
Yes. And oh my goodness, while you were speaking, I just wanted to say thank you.
Well, thank you.
Thank you
Yeah,
for being the change that even you needed,
right,
for recognizing like, hey, there's a problem here. And even though I'm pressing through what's going on with me internally, I recognize that I want to help other people with that same issue.
right, right.
Kudos to you.
Yeah,
Big thank you.
thank you.
Like seriously, because to even hear the specialized groups like that, it's so needed.
Right.
And it's just like as a Black therapist, as a Black man
Yeah.
therapist, there aren't too many of you all. It's not. So just thank you for just doing the what you can to make a difference. I know you are impacting lives.
Yeah, it's a joy too. I love this journey because you're in the field, so a part of what you study is what heals you as well, and so
Yep.
I got a lot of breakthroughs in my graduate classes, is what I'd say. I got
Hmm.
introduced to certain things like transgenerational issues, systems theory that really shaped my mind, and taking that weight off that, a lot of us put on ourselves about what our values are, and meaning how much we're valued, and so learning and sharing that context with Black men, I love to take that weight off their shoulder to say, man, you're not a throwaway, you're not, you know, um, worthless, you have a lot of value, like understand that. And it's not to say, it's a justification or a pass. It's to say, let's put these things in context, and I think a lot of people knows about this book now, that Dr. Bruce Perry and Oprah Winfrey wrote, called What Happened to You, right?
Hmm.
Versus what's wrong with you. And that's what a lot of us really think, like, what's wrong with me, like, or that's all I know. And so we just repeat that cycle, when the real question is, what happened? Let's put things in context to see, why is it that we show up, with lack of communication skills, with lack of intimacy, with lack of, understanding or emotional IQ. Let's put that in context. And when we put it in context, then you have a chance to now empathize instead of judge. And then you have a chance to make room, which allows the growth to happen between where we are versus where we can get to, and so it's a fun space for me to be in, because I love seeing the difference when that weight gets lifted and they're like, yeah, I can be somebody different. I can smile, I can love, I can express my fear, my anger, my joy, my sorrow at any time, and I'm always safe.
Yes. Oh my goodness, this is good. Okay, so now I am thinking about the man watching this, right? The man that may watch this recording later and he's like, I know I need help, but I don't even know where to start. I don't know what to do, who to call. What advice would you give someone wanting to start a wellness or mental health journey of healing? What advice would you give them?
Yeah, it's all the same. What I'd say is, okay, so my private practice, I was very intentional in creating like a motto for my private practice for everyone who actually encounter us to feel a specific way. And this message is for Black men, exactly where you are, exactly where you are, right? I want you to know that you are seen. And what that is that I see you, and I affirm you. We have this expression as African Americans, is like, we say, I see you, and I see you is like an affirmation.
Mhm.
So I see you wherever you are, and just know you're seen in whatever condition, mental, emotional, physical, spiritual. I see you. And right after that, I hear you, and so a lot of our cries, a lot of our anger, a lot of our sorrow, grief is left unheard. It's almost like it's falling on deaf ear, because we are emoting, but it's like our emotions aren't being valued. And so I hear you, man. I hear you. I hear you, you know, um, in all of your emotions, in your joy, in your celebration, in your success, in your abundance, in your love. I hear you. I hear you winning. I hear you, championing other Black men. I hear you being celebrated. I hear you, but I also hear you when you're angry, when you're sad, when you're lonely, when you're grieving, when you feel guilty, when you feel sorrow, when you feel small, when you feel inadequate. I hear you as well. And I want you to know,
Mhm.
in both of those spaces, you're still valuable. That's the last one right there.
Yes.
You're seen, you're heard, and the most important part of it is that wherever you are, without making a step forward, backwards, just know that you still have value. What that means is that if value is right there, in any relationship that you're in, that those relationships are valuable because you're a part of it. And if they're valuable, you want to bring your best self. And your best self is the self that will be the most authentic. And we know when we're not. We know when we have to wear a mask and walk on
Mhm.
eggshells, And sometimes the fear isn't of the outside world. I think sometimes the fear, and this is for my Black brothers, sometimes the fear is that trigger that can then trigger us to be unsafe for the environment around us. So
That's
I
good.
see you, I hear you, and I value you wherever you are. If you need the help, reach out, reach out to myself, reach out to the doctor here. If we can't be the therapist for you, this is what I tell people. I may not be the best fit for you, but I'll help you find somebody that will be a
Yeah.
good fit for you. And if it's not through me, if you've already been through therapy and you've been through this process and you feel like it's not for you, keep trying, right? When we go to a store and we don't like that store, we don't stop going to that store, period. We go to
Right.
another store and see if they have better customer service. So keep
Hmm.
shopping is what I'm saying, because you're worth it. You're worth it. You're worth it. You're worth having a clear mind. You're worth your heart rate being normal. You know what I'm saying? You're worth
Yes.
breathing in fresh air. You're worth not being paranoid. You're worth not being judged. You're worth all of it. And so invest in you is what I'll say. Take that time to say, I'm valuable enough to then pour into me. And that investment isn't just for you, it's for generations, man. Now that I'm well, because I invested in my mental and emotional space, and I continuously do that, I now have desires to be with 2 generations later. I want to see my grandkids. I want to see I want to see the next generation thrive in the wellness that we started, So let's get well so that we can be here for a while and then, help facilitate that change for the next generations to come.
Yes, for you and for the future. Oh man, I want to take a moment and I want to normalize some things because you just listed a bunch of different emotions, right? A bunch of different ways that someone can feel. Well, I need all of my men to know that these are all natural feelings.
Yeah.
You are not alone. I promise you, you are not alone in whatever you're feeling. Like we all go through those ups and downs. It's like, oh, life be lifing.
Right.
And
Right.
it just kind of is what it is, right? But I don't want anyone to feel isolated, like, oh, I'm the only one that this happens to. I'm the only one that's grieving. I'm the only one that can't seem to get past a death that I experienced. No, you are not the only one. And that is why it's so important to get support. Don't isolate yourself and feeling like it's only you. It's not. So in my research of helping Black men heal after experiencing a homicide, I found that the number one thing that helped them was support.
Wow. Yeah.
So interviews and they're doing surveys and just trying to figure out like what best works. Support
Right.
is the people that showed up with food after someone passed away. Is the people that showed up and gave them rides. Is the people that helped with their kids. And so sometimes we're trying to figure out, even us ladies, how can we help our Black men heal? Show up for them.
Right.
Show up where you can. And it doesn't mean you have to do everything, but where you can, show some support. Share this video.
Right.
Hey, I can see that something is different and that you may need some help. And I saw this video and I thought of you. Yeah, it's the small, don't feel like you have to go out here and save the whole world, right?
Yeah.
Because
Yeah.
that may be an impossible feat, but you can do the small things that make a big difference right from wherever you are. Oh man, Matt, I really appreciate you. I
Thank you for
really,
having
really
me. Yeah,
do.
thank you for having me. I'd love to come back whenever you have some time.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes, yes, yes. I mean, we can keep this going now. You're not saying nothing. I would definitely, because I love being able to provide, and maybe we can even do this live, being able to just provide spaces where people can ask questions. So y'all, if y'all want to see us do this live, if y'all have questions, use the comment area. Ask those questions. We'll do our best. We'll see if we can get together again one way or another and answer these questions for you. We love to help. Both of us told y'all we are passionate about what we do. And at the end of the day, we want to see you heal. We
Right.
want to see you well. And so whatever we can do to help you in that journey, we're here to support.
Yes, indeed. Let's thrive.
Yes. Yes. Okay. And so can you list again the ways to contact you?
Sure. The easiest way to contact with me would be via text on my business line, which is 754 800-300-6127. For those who are social, media people and would feel it'd be easy to contact me that way. You can find me at Matt Genius, MATJeanius, on IG, on Facebook, on I think it's called X now, on all platforms, Matt Genius, MATJeanius. And send the questions in the DM as well. I usually answer within 24 hours. And so I'd love to hear from you guys. Let's connect. My practice is linked to my page as well. So let's get in contact with each other and get this going. And I'd love to come back.
Yes.
I love that idea too.
Yes. We're gonna keep talking. Look, I don't even have like this not a podcast or anything. I don't Dreams
What?
and Visions doesn't even have a YouTube page. I just really felt in my heart like let me do these interviews. So this
Yeah,
we might be creating something here and I
let's
might
do
need your
it.
help with it.
I
So
got you. I got you. Yeah.
yeah, now look, we now I done raised my hand by mistake. But um, but yeah, we can collaborate and figure out some more ways to help. I'm totally open to that.
Okay.
Awesome. All right, you guys. So we appreciate y'all watching. I will make sure that this video also has the information so that you can connect with Matt and myself. And we are looking forward to just helping you on your healing journey. So stay tuned. Me and Matt will be back together one way or another. And we are here to help y'all. Bye.
All right. Peace and blessings.